bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
My next guest helped start a camp for teens with Down syndrome, and it's all run by young adults. Hello again, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jen Boyette, and with me today on Comcast Newsmakers is Jason Toff. He's the co-founder and co-director of Camp PALS, and today we're talking about helping teens with Down syndrome. So nice to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, people out there watching our viewers today are thinking, boy, he's kind of young himself. So how old were you when you started this camp?
So I was 18 at the time of Camp PALS, but I was actually, I guess, 16 when I started PALS with Josh Stein, a friend of mine from high school, which was just a club to help better socially integrate the students with developmental disabilities. Right,
that's a pretty ambitious idea to start. Now, why was it important to you to do that?
I mean, the origin of the idea came from interacting with my aunt who has Down syndrome and just seeing her at family events and seeing how much fun she had just hanging out with 5 of her friends at a restaurant made me kind of think, well, it's really easy to just make this person with Down syndrome's day, and the kids in my high school could really benefit from a social club for them.
Okay, and this camp runs for 1 week every year in June.
Yep.
So it's happened this year already, but we're already gearing up for next June.
That's right, yeah.
Right, because talk about the volunteers and the counselors that you need, because you have that one-on-one attention that is so important.
Sure. Well, so 4 summers ago, our first summer, most of the volunteer counselors, actually all the volunteer counselors were high school students. As I've grown older, the volunteers have turned into college students as well. So all of our counselors are volunteer. They're all under 21 years old, and they commit a week of their summers when they could be on vacation at the beach to come and volunteer their time to the program.
Right. Now, are they used to handling or dealing with kids who are a little bit different, or do you have some sort of orientation or training?
Well, so most of them don't have any experience specifically dealing with kids with developmental disabilities. Most of them aren't even special education majors. We certainly have a lot of siblings of people with Down syndrome, but most of them just come for a good time, and then we do have a 2-day training where we get them oriented with what sort of situations they'll deal with. But most of the things are typical problems you encounter at any summer camp.
Okay, and this is a sleepover camp, so they are in the dorms right here at Cabrini College where we're shooting today. How does that partnership work?
Sure, so every camper is paired with one counselor without Down syndrome, and so the pairing moves through the week together. They live in a dorm room together, they go on trips together, they participate in events together, and that's a really special component, we think, of Camp PALS, because each camper has a dedicated counselor for the week.
Right. Do you have some sort of matching system? Do you try and match their interests?
Yeah. So we have a camper profile, and then the camper profile basically asks, what's your favorite movies, what's your favorite music, food, and we get the same sort of information from the counselors, and we try to match based on interest, based on age, and a lot of times campers and counselors who come back year after year want to be with the same campers.
Okay. Now, you said we're talking about teens with Down syndrome. So what's the age range there?
So for the campers, in the past years, it's been 14 to 21. Next year, we're looking at maybe expanding it a bit, but generally it's 14 to 21. Yeah.
Okay. And as we said in the open, it's all run by young adults too. So same age range with the counselors then?
Yeah, the counselors are a little bit older, so 17 to 21. And as I grow older, and as the other directors grow older, that age range might expand a bit too. But yes, yeah.
Right, because going on 5 years for June 2008, and I know you're already looking for counselors to sign up and donate their time.
Sure, we're looking for counselors for 2008 already. Anyone who has any interest in helping others and having a really fun week. We try to, it's not just about helping kids with Down syndrome, it's about having a week that you're going to remember for the rest of the year.
Right, and you must have some rewarding experiences and stories that have stuck with you because of this experience.
Sure, yeah, and I mean, beyond just the campers, beyond the counselors, parents really enjoy just having a week off. I remember the first summer, after we had 16 campers in our first summer, and at the last day we have a closing ceremony, and a parent stood up and said, you know, this was the first time in 19 years that I was able to go to the beach, read a book, and not have to worry. And I mean, once all the directors heard that and the counselors, we just knew we had something. And then 4 summers later, we had 41 campers, and it just continues to grow and flourish.
Right, wonderful work you're doing. Thanks so much for being with us today,
Jason. Thank you for having us. Thanks.
Yeah. And thank you for watching. This hour's newsmaker has been Jason Toff. He's the co-founder and co-director of Camp PALS. And I'm Jen Boyette for Comcast Newsmakers, which is an exclusive production of Comcast.